Welcome back to Pekin Valley Life and part 2 of our cancer story.
Ethan was taken down to surgery in the early hours of the morning. His surgery was performed laparoscopically, which is a minimally invasive procedure that utilizes robotics and is said to have a quicker recovery time, although Ethan's recovery was still pretty brutal. I was told his gastrectomy would take around 6 to 8 hours, but he didn't return to the reanimation ward until 8:30 that evening. I was allowed to visit with him for 5 minutes. The doctor told me they ended up removing about 60% of Ethan's stomach. For the first 3 days, he lay pretty still, falling in and out of sleep. Gradually, over the next weeks, he began to recover, first sitting up, then standing, Eventually, he was encouraged to do things for himself. And was given exercises to perform, which he attacked with gusto. As always, he was on a mission to get out of hospital as quickly as possible and return home. After 2 weeks in intensive care and another week on the ward, Ethan was moving around and eating a soft food diet. He was finally discharged after 3 weeks, and we were on our way back to the house. We were all super excited to be home, but no one was more happy to see Ethan than Sid. After 2 weeks of rest and recuperation, we were ready to get back to our beloved mountains.
Back on the road, baby. The mountains are falling and we must go.
Ethan was beginning to feel like his old self again. He was eating a soft food diet, and whilst he did still have some difficulty swallowing and was dealing with some cramping and a bit of excessive saliva, we felt that for such an extensive surgery he was doing really well, and these symptoms would keep improving. It was August, the time when the famous Perseid shower of shooting stars are visible in the French skies, so we decided to go as high into the mountains as we could, where the sky would be dark and we could watch the shooting stars. We headed off to Lac du Mont-Cenis, one of our favourite places.
Gotta go like keep going down and then there's a road that comes into the side of the lake.
Being August, it was fairly busy around the lake, but we managed to find a suitable place to park. We played with Sid for a while whilst we waited for evening to come, so we could find a secluded spot where we could watch the stars.
We followed the path until it led us to a beach where we could lay out our blankets, and it was the perfect place to watch the stars. After 4 months of treatments, chemo and surgeries and hospital, to be here with my wife in our little airbeds looking up at the sky, it was an amazing feeling. As we laid there watching the sun set and enjoying nature, I had a growing concern, but for tonight, we just laid back and enjoyed the show. Any problems could be dealt with tomorrow. The next morning we woke up and went to have breakfast, and my greatest fear had come true. It would seem I could no longer swallow, not even liquids. This would mean we'd need to pack up, head down the mountain, and go back to the doctor. In the last 6 or 7 days, it's become more and more difficult to eat, to the point now where I can't even really drink anymore. So we just saw my general practitioner, and she's concerned enough that she's sending us back to Chambéry to the emergency room, and maybe I'm going back into the hospital. So kind of a step back here.
In 300 meters at the roundabout, take the third exit onto Avenue Marius Berroir, heading to Lyon, Valence.
Spots.
Turn left, then turn left.
Well, the campus there.
Yeah, it'd be great if we grab one of those spots.
Yeah.
Turn left.
Hello. As you can see, I'm back in the hospital again. I came to the emergency room just to get checked out. They kept me in. The next day they gave me an endoscopy. They confirmed that the junction between my stomach and my esophagus was closing up because of the stitches and the scar tissue. But what I wasn't expecting was after my last surgery, they sent the parts of the stomach that they had removed off to the laboratory, and they had found cancer cells right at the site of incision, which means they cut through the cancer to remove my stomach, and there's a very high probability that I still have cancer in the stomach that I have left. And what that means for me is basically I'm starting over from the beginning. I'll have probably to do some more chemo, and then after chemo I'll have another surgery to remove the rest of my stomach, and hopefully that will get all of the cancer. So as you can imagine, it's been quite a blow, because Terry and I thought that we'd done the chemo, we did the surgery, it was just a little bit more chemo, and I would be done with this. To find out that I have to go through the surgery and the chemo again it's not easy. In fact, I'm having a surgery today, a surprise surgery today, because I just found out about it about 15 minutes ago. Because I can't swallow very well anymore, they're going to put a feeding tube in me, and I'll be fed directly into my small intestine, and that will live with me until my surgery, until after my surgery, when they remove the rest of my stomach. So yeah, it's been a tough week. I still have to let Terry know about the surgery because I sent her a message, but she hasn't answered yet. And yeah, so just trying to absorb all of the news. Hello. Okay, it's Friday. I'm getting out of the hospital today. I've been in here for exactly 1 week. It's been a tough couple of days. Currently, they've installed a feeding tube as I can no longer eat solid foods and I was dropping weight quickly. So now I have a feeding tube and I'm going to get taught on how to use it and everything later this afternoon. Yeah, so just trying to accept the situation for what it is and move forward. Hello, we are back again in Chambéry. Things are pretty dire.
We are sick and fucking tired of coming back and forth to Chambéry. We're neither of us in a very good mood. Ethan can no longer eat. He can't drink. He still has cancer. We feel like everything that's come before this is meaningless. We don't know how this happened. We are not sure why we are in this position. We don't even know why we're here today, really. But we had this appointment made as a follow-up after Ethan's partial gastrectomy with his surgeon, who has just been on holiday for the entire month of August. It's his first day back today. We don't know if he knows the situation or not. We're hoping that he does, and we're hoping that he can actually enlighten us as to where we're going from here.
Yes, everything she said.
Whilst we had no idea what to expect from this meeting, what transpired was utterly shocking. We were unable to film during the consultation. While we were with the surgeon, our gastroenterologist joined the meeting. She had the results of Ethan's PET scan. The scan showed some suspicious renal lymph nodes. The doctor told us the cancer had spread. It was now inoperable. He was stage 4. The prognosis: 3 to 9 months. If you or a loved one are suffering from this terrible disease, we have left some resources in the comments section below that we found to be both informative and supportive during this journey. Please help to support the channel by liking and subscribing, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you can be informed when we post the last part of this series.